Hey, this is Cycopather. In the last episode, we got here to this strange area of the Palace of Shadow. Nah. And in this episode, we're going to continue on here and hopefully make some further progress towards a 1,000-year door. Anyway, with first things first, I'm going to see if I can sneak by this chain jump out here and get to the heart block. So, basically want to lure him over it, let him crawl back into the process, hop over here, heal up. I'm going to cut out this battle real quick, so I'll be back in just a moment. And we're back. Okay. Ooh, we got super short from that one. I will gladly take that. Or will I? I guess I won't. I'm actually gonna heal up real quick. Don't worry too much about losing coins and not that healing up and all that in this last area, because honestly, there's not much you have to lose at this point. So don't worry too much about that. So before we do anything back in that other room there, we're going to head over here to the right because there's some other things to take on over in this side before we do anything major. We got a new enemy here, so let's show that off. I believe it's a new enemy at least. I'd like to think it is. These guys are good defensively though. These are dark wizards, not wizards, wizards. They have a defense point, so our good friend Miz here will be of no help. So we're gonna pass along the baton, Bobbery. They do this thing where they split up a lot. Kind of frustrating, and I just realized that Bobbery probably wasn't a good choice, but we're getting close to level up, I guess. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump on this one because okay, guess not. I'm gonna go ahead and use Bombast, and hopefully that will do enough damage or do enough, whatever, to take care of him. I actually probably should have used Vivian there, but because I think it's more effective towards our FP count, but whatever. So I'm actually gonna do that real quick and switch over because I believe there are more wizards to come. So let's continue heading here to the right and see what we can find. Alrighty, heading into this door here. Anyway, we are closing in on something quite important. We got another wizard in here, I believe, or is it? Oh, Chain Chomp, actually. That's Vivian is not a good choice. Miz is a good choice for Chain Chomps, so let's take care of him. And with that battle there, we actually leveled up. So I'm gonna go ahead and I believe I want to upgrade my. Let's see. Probably my HP. FP will come next if we get enough levels by that point. I'm not entirely sure if we will or not. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my HP because that is rather a bit more important, I guess, than our FP at this point. Anyway, leveling up there is good timing, I believe, because I think there's one more room. But then we got something that I should say there's something rather intense at the end of this rather foreboding tunnel. I think there's an enemy up here. I'm going to. I guess it's an empty room. Never mind. I think there's an enemy in this room, I should say. I believe I want to avoid him just for right now because the timing is not so great here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pass on the battle. Thank you for the offer, but I'm gonna pass because we've got greater mountains to climb behind this door right here. I'm gonna go in real quick and switch to Bobbery because he's gonna be helpful for what lies behind door number 1. Who are you? No one disturbed me here in eons. Who dares defile this secret place? Who's this dragon foe? I say, it isn't Oakdale. I think you flipped me before. Yes, and also the rather grimy toes. Yes, that's who's filled with a T. Or 2T. What? You destroyed my precious younger sister. I wondered why no one had written recently. Quake in fear, mortals, for I am Gloomtail. I will avenge my sister by taking your lives and gnawing on your bones. Alrighty, we've got a mini boss here for this chapter. Another one, I guess, if you will. If you count dry bones. Wahaha! My first fresh meat in ages. Allow me to take my time and toy with you a while. Now, unlike Hooktail, Gloomtail, I believe is a girl, not entirely sure, doesn't have a weakness to an attack FX badge. So this one, you basically just have to power through it, beat her down, and do as much damage as you can per turn. And try to tank it and work through. Not all that hard of a boss fight. It's basically just the same fight against Hooktail again. However, the attacks will do a bit more damage, so just be wary of that. like there, you know, the fire at least does 8 damage as opposed to, I believe, Hooktail does 3. I don't know. That's I'm guessing. I don't have that written down or anything. So, all right. I'm basically just gonna, as I said, just tank it out, do as much damage, deal as much damage as you can per turn. I don't believe Gloomtail also won't. I don't think she eats any of the members of the crowd. So don't worry about her healing or anything. Just kind of, like I said, do your best, bang it out, and try to destroy it as much as you can. I should probably be using my FP and be using Power Smash, because I'm not really too worried about that, because there's a heart blocking in the room if I need to use it. So, like I said, in this part of the early on in the dungeon, you kind of need to worry about, you know, taking damage and whatnot, and leveling out your FP. But for right now, we really have to. The enemies, you can basically go back and heal at any point if you want to. Bobby is poisoned here, which is not going to be very good for us. I'm actually going to swap out to Vivian, just because it's going to be a bit more helpful for right now. Even though I believe Bobby might do a bit more damage, I'm more so worried about dealing out or keeping a healthy partner. So, like I said, probably should be using my FP, so I'm going to go ahead and start using Power Smash, because it'll do some more damage. 2 Gloomtail, I should say. Anyway, Shade Fist will do some good. Oh, I actually have a good idea. I want to show something off real quick if I do get a chance here. Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha! You are tough meat, my little tasty morsels. But how will you fare against this? Basically just Earthquake. Nothing crazy. Anyway, I should show off the new ability we gained. I really haven't used a lot of these abilities, and mostly just because I don't find them to be all that useful, with the exception of maybe Sweet Feast. But Supernova, I love. It's a great move. Basically, all you have to do, mash away that A button, and you will do massive damage to your enemies, as promised. Yes, when the game promises massive damage, it means massive damage, and we will see that fairly shortly here, as I mash the A button and attempt to do as much damage as I possibly can. Oh god! I love mashing the A button. No. It's one of my hidden talents. I can mash really quickly. And there we go. A wonderful 15 damage. So, like I said, it does take up quite a bit of star points, but it can be earned back fairly quickly. Or not fairly quickly, but if you get your stylages and all that, you shouldn't have to worry too much. You're not as easy prey as you appear to be. I would never be able to show my face again if I was brushed by you whelps. So, I will show you the true extent of my power. And it brings up his attack. Well, being that we are a smart player, well, first we will go in with Mario, and we'll use Power Smash once more just to deal some further damage. But being that we're a smart player, I'm going to go ahead and be wise and use Veil here. Mostly because, like both in the first game, Vivian can pull us under, or can avoid mega attacks such as Mega Breath. Waha! Do you understand my true power now? I do, actually. I understand how awesome I am at avoiding your true power. How can this be? Oh, shit. Okay. Taking some heavy damage here, but I'm not too worried. Let's see. I don't want to use an Ultra Shroom because it would be a bad time to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and actually... I'm going to use a Boo Sheet on Mario just so I can avoid taking damage for 4 more turns, because I basically want to make it through here on the full HP. And I'm not too worried about at this point about Vivian taking damage or anything, so... or from poison, so I'm just going to go in real quick and hit it with another Shade Fist. 3 damage dealt. Wonderful. And he's going to power up once more, which basically just gives us another a chance to attack him. It's going to last for another turn, right? I think it will, yeah, so I'll let Vivian take the Mega Breath so you guys can see the pure extent of its power. Or should I? Because I don't remember exactly how much damage it does, and I don't want Vivian to die. I doubt it does 20, though. I'm not really too worried about that. I'm actually going to use Fiery Jinx, because I think, actually, is that going to do what I think it will? Not affected by defense, does 5 damage. Not quite enough, but... Vivian, you're not good enough! Like, you're attacked. Okay, fine, you burned it, so that works. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was Gloomtail. No, is it true? Can I expire? Yes, Gloomtail, indeed, you can expire. Thank you for playing. We'll see you next time. And Gloomtail will spit out a chest. It's no crystal star, but I'll take it. Let's take a look at what's inside chest number 1. I made that joke already. We got a star key, alrighty. Well, we'll be needing that for later on. It's very similar to a crystal star, but you know, buddy, you gonna be okay? All right, I'll leave you be for a bit. You know, I think he just needs some time alone. You know, I just think we should give him that. Yeah, give him the time of day. You know, let him be himself. Give him his me time. There are some, I believe. These bubbles are still here. I'm going to avoid them again, just because Mario is in no shape to battle right now. And I believe Miz probably could do some decent damage, but just to waste time. Quite frankly, I don't need to start. I mean, from them at least. I'm hurt enough. I want to go heal. You know, move on to bigger and better things. You know, it's something that I'm not truly worried about what they have to think about me. You know, what they say about me. I'm not worried about that. I'm Mario. I don't have to worry about what some, you know, interstellar enemy from the Palace of Shadow has to think about me. You know, I'm gonna go save the world. They're gonna be there. I mean, they're gonna stay there, and they're gonna, you know, guard that hallway for the rest of eternity. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to finish the final boss. I don't have to go back down the hallway if I don't want to. I mean, it's my choice. It's my life. I do what I want. So I'm not worried about what they think of me. Anyway, crazy words and such aside, I'm gonna go ahead and save once more real quick before we do anything else. Anyway, as you can see, there are some switches in the background there, or you may be wondering how the hell do we get over there. Well, there are some adequately shaped, actually rather cool-looking chain chomp statues here, like there were chain chomps over there. You're going to want to take out your Bobbery friend and pop him right inside that chain chomp. He's going to walk inside their mouth and blow that shit up. Alright. And I have no regrets. Let's go inside the pipe here, and in doing so, we can get into the background, hit the switch, and figure out what the hell this thing does. So let's figure it out. And as the star pedestal falls to pieces, it reveals not only a cool water texture, it reveals a floating panel. So, I just threw Bobbery by accident. I'm very used to having Miz out. I'm just letting him explode and do his thing over there. Anyway, we can do the same thing on the other side over here, where there lies another chain chomp. So let's go toss. Let's toss this in here real quick. Let's just chuck it in there. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That will, a little fanfare will play, and the switch on this side will be available to us as well, and we can further advance here in Palace of Shadow. That's a cool thing. What's that called? Is that Newton something or other? It's an atom, that cool design thing. I don't know. It's a science thing. It's summer. I'm not worried about science. I don't think I need to learn what that was, or maybe it was a prehistoric, not prehistoric, but you know, early design of what an atom looks like, which I believe is actually incorrect. But anyway, let's turn into a boat here. Not through Bobbery in the water. There was a comment on one of my earlier videos from Kill All Key in which I continually push X instead of Y and accidentally threw Bobbery into the water at least 100 times. So Bobbery, I apologize for throwing you in the water so many times. Anyway, let's enter this this odd-looking. Well, those doors are pretty cool looking, but this interesting interstellar, I can use that word again, but it kind of works here because there's, you know, stars on the floor. Many doored room with a spiral staircase. You're going to want to go straight up the spiral staircase here. Ignore all the doors, ignore all the poles, ignore all the other weird stuff. Just go straight to this platform. There's a little pedestal here. Mario, check that out. Whoa, it's gigantic, huh? What the heck is it? Miz, my friend, that is our solar system. Anyway, let's pop on the star key we've earned from defeating Gloomtail in right there. And in doing so, some odd black pedestals will appear around the room. Each one has a keyhole, and you may be wondering, well, what are we going to do about those keyholes? Well, we're going to take care of those. Anyway, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pedestals, each one with a keyhole. And adequately, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 floors, or rooms per floor. So, let's go ahead and figure out what we can do in each room. Each room withholds a key, so let's go ahead and knock those out real quick. In this room right here, there are 2 switches. This door right, this little Panel here says beyond, beyond, beyond. Complete all 7 before. Well, let's just go ahead and 1, 2, 3, and a little bit of a 1 and a 2. And in doing so, the chest will appear. Now, in case you couldn't pick that up, it says beyond, 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 as in the block that was beyond, and before. So you hit it says beyond 3 times, 1 for each hit, and it says before, 1 hit for each one of the block on the right. So there you go. That's key number 1. Let's move on to key number 2 over here. All right, let's go right outside, and in the next room, we got a bit of a, if I believe I'm correct here, I believe I'm correct, and we got a little bit of a 2-parter room kind of here. This block we can do nothing about, so we're going to leave that be. However, this one right here we can destroy, so I'll take care of that. But anyway, we have nothing left to do in this room, so we're going to leave that be for now. We'll come back here just a bit later to get our next key, but we're going to ignore that for now. Anyway, let's head into this room right over here, figure out what we do in here. Let's see. All you see isn't all there be. Stones have power of the stars. Touch it to pass through it. Well, all we see, let's see. Well, I see a wall here, and there's more beyond it. There's a switch right in here. In doing so, it will create a chest back in the previous room. So let's rock back over there and get the key. The next key of things as we walk this. I mean, I always thought that kind of cool. Just the way you kind of walk through it. That transition's a little weird, but whatever. Anyway, palace key number 2. Alright, as I mentioned before, we need 8 keys. So let's go to room number 4 on floor number 1 and see what lies behind the door. The unseen may yet be felt, so that we, the great ones, be it there, be it there. Be it here, be it there. Anyway, as we see here, if we walk forward, there's a bit of an odd presence here. We don't know exactly what it is. Well, what we're going to do real quick is switch over to our good pal Flurry and blow that crap away, revealing our next chest and palace key number 3. Wonderful. Switch back to Miz because he is our good companion and getting us around rather quickly. As I said, this is not a speed run, but however, our good friend Miz can get us around rather quickly, so we don't have to worry about Mario's trivial speed and or rather lack thereof. Anyway, let's head into the room down here on the bottom right, door number 5. The shy one hides his shape, but the stars bring balance. The shy one hides his face. Well, if this next this next button is rather shy, I guess we'll give him his own space and let him come out on his own. And there she is. I just called him a he and a she within like 30 seconds. I apologize, sir. Or madam. I'm not rather sure of your gender, rather being that you are merely a switch, and you probably have no genitalia of any sort. Anyway, awkward wording aside, let's leave the room and hop back on our Yoshi pal and go over to room number 6 and see what lies behind this door. In this room, we have 4 dry bones. I'm going to try to avoid this guy real quick and see. Let's see. Let fall the weakest and let the skies lie. Then build to the strongest. So there are 4 dry bones here. Basically, I'm going to translate that for you. You just take care of the weakest dry bone to the strongest dry bone in that order. Your order here will be white, pink, gray, and then, or rather, yellow, pink, gray, and then blue. So, not hard. There aren't really any battles here in this area. This is really the only battle we really have to worry about. So, let's go ahead and take out pink. Alrighty. Once a mini-boss, now no threat to us at all. 1 hit will do him just fine. You don't have to worry too much about, you know, burning or using bobbery on these guys, mostly because you don't really have to fully exterminate them. There's only 1 person per battle, so it's not really that much of an issue. We want to take care of Gray next. I think I got him. Did we? Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We're going to use our hammer on him. And then use it once more to defeat him, which would be wonderful. And another battle. Well done. And like I said, don't have to worry too much about our star points because they will regain fairly quickly with all the stylish and whatnot we will be getting. Anyway, blue dry bones once again. Another mini boss from bosses past. We have no worry for. We'll just take him out as fast as we can here. I'm going to use hammer and a good old gulp on him. Hopefully that will take care of him fairly quickly. stylish there. I don't often get that stylish. I mean, most often the stylish you get frequently is the hammer stylish. Once you get that one's fairly easily. You just need to get it as soon as he hits the ground. Anyway, let's use scope right here. Take care of this dry bones, and in doing so, clear the room, which is wonderful. Another 5 star points. I can totally count. And in doing so, the room will be cleared, and our switch will appear with a rather neat camera view there. The block was a bit off-center, but rather, it looks pretty cool. So, let's go hit it. And obtain our next chest, which contains our next key, which contains victory. We got a palace key once more. Alrighty, with that, let's head on to room number 7. As I say, let's go right over here. And behind this door we have... Straight on, straight onward. We knew the stars spurn us. Destroy all in your path. Well, there's not really a path in here except for this wall here, and if Zelda 1 taught us anything, when there's an empty wall, well, you drop the bomb on that. Wonderful! A hidden path is opened, and so is our new chest with palace key number 7. Alrighty, and as I said, there was one room that was a bit of a two-parter. The second part of door 2 lies in this area right over here. In this room, this block can be destroyed, however this one cannot be. But this block over here can also now be destroyed, which is quite wonderful. So, now that that's been destroyed, let's actually head back down to room number 2 and see what has happened down there. Now that we've destroyed those 2 blocks in this room. Each room has 2 blocks you can destroy, and in the other room, the block that you cannot destroy is the block you can destroy in the previous room. That doesn't make much sense, but if it's a gray block in one room, it's a flashy block in the other, and if in doing so, you can destroy the gray blocks. You can't destroy the flashy blocks, but anyway, this switch is now available to us, so let's hit that real quick. I believe this is chest number 6, which is wonderful, so let's go ahead and grab the key that lies inside. And with 1 key left to go, let's go right back upstairs and get that key, and then we will unlock what lies beyond the 8 pedestals of wisdom, or whatever. I don't know. This room has always been... I've always found this room to be rather mysterious. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, though. I like it. This whole area. It never really made much sense, but it's kind of one of those spiritual, older things that, it's part of the whole... Rogueport before Rogueport, when in all the underground areas, when they were the main area, that's where everyone lived. This is one of those things. I'm assuming this acted maybe as a sort of temple of sorts to those citizens that lived here previously, or maybe it was a, part of a castle or something, meaning that the Palace of Shadow is, well, it's a palace, mind you, so. Anyway, now that we have all 8 switches, we can activate all 8 pedestals, so let's go ahead and do so. With the simple mash the A button at each one, you'll basically don't worry too much about placement. Just kind of go with the first one in the order, and your pedestal will turn around. Oopsie. Make sure you get online though, because if you don't get in line, then you'll start jumping around, and Mario's going to be all crazy. So that's always interesting. And 1 more switch, or 2 more switches rather. I can totally count. And doing so, we'll activate our solar system and stars and everything, and it starts spinning. It's wonderful. Look at the sun in the middle there. Humph! It's moving. What? The empty hallway? Well, it serves a purpose now. What was that? Alrighty, before we end this episode off here, there's one more thing I want to take care of. So, without further ado, let's can I get up? Yeah. Let's further investigate those stairs down there, or at least let's make our way over there and see if there's anything we can do. Something quickly before the episode, because if my clock is correct, we're around 25 minutes now, so I want to make sure I don't run this too long However, we are getting closer to the finale, so I guess it never hurts to have a bit longer of a part, you know? Why not? Anyway, let's sail back over here, and I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you do heal and save before you progress here, because there is something we're going to be jumping into real quick that could be hazardous to your health, or your well-being, or your time. So, even though you probably haven't taken all that much damage from those dry bones inside there, if you're in the state of wealth that I am, or at least Mario is, with all those coins, go ahead, heal up, save up, and there's one more thing we want to do before progressing on here. I'm going to go ahead real quick and switch over to Vivian, because she will be of most help to us right now. And let's head right over here to the right. We've been waiting for you, Mario. Huh? Professor Franklin, what are you doing here? Thank you so much for opening the door for us, Mario. Yes, that was so nice. Thanks to your do-gooder predictability, my plan is progressing very smoothly. Sis, how dare you? And what do you mean about opening the door for you? Whee! So you still don't see it? Ah, such fools. The Professor Franklin you were with when you opened the passenger door was none other than this little freak in a sheet. Whee! The real Franklin is sleeping off on a nasty bump in the head, with a nasty bump on the head in a closet somewhere. Poor thing. And once we get rid of you here, our plan will nearly be complete. Ready for the end, my dears? You and the traitor Vivian have a date with eternity.
Huh? That's right, Slick. Eternity.
Shut up, freak.
Oh, okay. Right. Sorry.
I'm with Mario all the way. Today, sis, I'm gonna punish you. You hear me? Come, my sort of lovelies. Marilyn, freak sheet.
Go. I said my name's Dupless.
Alrighty, one more mini-boss right here. We've got, well, freak sheet. Alright, my kind of lovelies, this time we take out Mario and the Goon Squad for good. So, if I catch you slacking, you'll be in for an incredible punishment come tomorrow.
Go. Okay.
Anyway, as I was saying, we have Free Sheet, Dupless, Marilyn, and Build'em. Totally didn't forget her name. I'm just gonna go ahead here and take out Dupless. I'm gonna have Mario focus on him real quick, do as much damage to him as I can. All the while, I'm gonna have Vivian go ahead and use Fiery Jinx to do damage to all of them, mostly because if we can take them all out as fast as we can, and take them all out at the same time, or do damage to all of them, and burn them too, that'd be rather helpful. And he's gonna find Vivian there, which is not very helpful with Mr. Dupless. I don't really much appreciate that. And Marilyn has brought up her power sevenfold, which is frustrating. Anyway, let's burn them once more. I'm going to go ahead and basically, I probably could use Veil or something and try to avoid Marilyn's attack, but I'm not really all too worried about it because it's not like she's going to do like a crazy amount of damage, and we are at full health, so it's nothing we have to worry about too much. Once again, I'm just going to go straight after Dupless and just do as much damage to him as possible as I can. I'm going to burn. There we go. Wonderful. Little extra 1 damage. And Vivian's confused. Helpful. Thank you, game. I'm going to swap it. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can swap out for Bobbery. And it worked out fine, which is good. And Dupless is going to do what he does best and switch over and recreate Bobbery. Hey, you! Freak sheet! Pull it together, will you? Don't make me punish you.
Sorry.
And I got lucky there, so don't have to worry about that. Got lucky once more, don't have to worry about Marilyn either. And apparently, she took away some of Aubrey's turn, which is not very friendly. I don't very much appreciate that development. I don't. Alrighty. 8 damage dealt once more, very helpful. And Barbara's gonna miss a turn now because he can't really do anything. Oh, wait a minute. What are we doing here, Dupless? What are we doing here? Oh, wait a minute. We see a return of the not so Mario. It was not very nice, sir. I don't really appreciate that. Marilyn's gonna attack once more, however, with less attack. 8 damage, normally still, which is never fun. And apparently Dupless has been given more chance to attack. But I'm not all too worried about that, being that if I can properly attack him here. Dupless is gone. Alright, wonderful. 1/3 down, 2/3 to go.
Oh no!
Alrighty, Bobby now has finally gets a chance to attack once more, so let's go after Marilyn here. And then Belbum's going to attack once more, go right after Bobbery. Not too worried about that either. Belbum is basically mostly going to try to freeze you, while Marilyn is going to bring her own health up, so don't worry too much about that. I am going to go ahead and use Supernova once. No, I was going to do that, but I don't think it's necessary. Because I don't think I really need to use that, and I'm more... Yeah, I'm going to hold on to that for now. I don't really think it's all that necessary, at least yet. And then we're going to go ahead and use Bobbery once more, if I can. I'm not really worried about that bingo there. It's not going to help me out too much, being my star power is already full. Alrighty, I'm going to get Marilyn down to a measly 9 health, which is very nice. You okay, Marilyn? Good. Oh. Marilyn, that wasn't very... I don't... Marilyn, I don't very much appreciate attacks like that. You know, when you bring out the thunder like that and the lightning, it really isn't very nice, and I don't very much appreciate that sort of thing in this household. We don't allow that. You know, it's mini bosses can do all they want, but if they're just gonna bring out the lightning like that, I don't very much appreciate that. I'm gonna have to take you out, Marilyn. Seriously, I'm gonna attack you to a great extent and do all that I can to hurt you and your family. 15 damage down to both of them, which is very wonderful. Marilyn is now done. Good. Marilyn goes down. Go ahead and use Bomb on Beldum. That'll finish Beldum. And that, my friends, is the Shadow Lovelies. We get a wonderful 51 star points from that battle. Very impressive. That leaves us brings us up all the way to 89. Very helpful. Alright, at this rate, she will never. Oof. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Mario 1000 Door. In the next episode, we're going to continue on to the right there and see if that will lead us anywhere progressive, I guess, somewhere helpful or something or other. And we will continue on and make our way towards the final boss and the final confrontation with Rodus and whatever he has prepared for us. I'll see you guys then.